Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 84, and we start today's episode off, as you can see, ending December and moving into January. And yes, in today's episode, the transfer window is open. In today's episode 2, we're going to play most of January, and in the next episode as well, we will play through to transfer deadline day and past it as well. So in these two episodes, today's episode and also the next one as well, you'll see the whole of the January transfer window. And if you want to see the next episode of career mode as well, featuring the end of the transfer window and deadline day too, then get this video to 2,000 likes and I'll upload the next episode of career mode after the final game in the Premier League tonight. So we're into the January transfer window then, and a question for you guys as well to start the episode off: who should we try and sign in January? Let me know in the comment section down below. We all love it when a transfer window opens mid-season in January. Let me know in the comment section down below who you think we should try and sign in the January window. We have about £15 million in our budget right now. I'm planning to sell 2 or 3 players as well, so probably looking at about 20-25 million. Who should we try and sign in the January transfer window? Let me know in the comment section down below. So as you take a look at the squad report right there then, this is a extended squad report, if you will. Take a look at the stats as well as the attributes of the players as well. I try and do this once a season, mid-season if I can, and also at the end of the season as well, so you can see how the players currently getting on halfway through the year, and also at the end of the year as well, how they finished. And also look at the league table as well. As you can see, 34 points on the board, 16 games in. So after our next game, we will be halfway through the Bundesliga season, and right now we are top of the table, and hopefully come the end of season 2, we will still be top of the tree. So pretty decent first half of the season for us. Drew quite a few games, but still undefeated. Great to see 9 wins from our first 16. Of course, we are at the Deutsche Pokal. We were knocked out in the last episode by Hoffenheim, embarrassingly so, 3-0 at home. That was absolutely terrible. And also our Champions League draw pits us against the English club Arsenal. And also thought this would be kind of fun as well. And look at the Premier League table since we've left Middlesbrough. They are currently sitting in 4th place right now, 13 points behind Pep Guardiola and the leaders Manchester City. So yeah, Middlesbrough not doing too badly since we've left them, but not too good either. But as the January transfer window does now open, I did say I'm planning to sell 2 or 3 players. One of them is this guy right here, Ilzat Akhmetov, who actually looks alright. He's a pretty young player and he's not too bad, 74 overall, but I've barely used him and don't have much use for him going forward either, even though he could have some okay potential. But also a big came in for Marc Bartra as well. Now this was quite an interesting one because Bartra isn't a player I planned to sell, but Bayern putting in a bid for the Spanish centre-back of £24.5 million, £5 million over his valuation. We asked for £35 million because he is a very decent centre-back, don't get me wrong. He's 84 overall and he's 28 years old, so still has a couple of years before he starts to decline in his stats, but he has scored 2 own goals already this season. He's looked a little shaky in some of our games as well, so if we're going to let him go, I will take £35 million for him, because if we get that from Bayern, we could try and replace him with one of these 2 guys on my shortlist. Nicholas Saul of Hoffenheim, who funnily enough is also interested in, has interest from Bayern, 24 years old, 85 overall, and also Jonathan Tah as well from Bayer Leverkusen, who is 1 rating lower but also 1 year younger as well, 84 overall, 23 years old. One of these 2 German centre-backs coming in to replace Marc Bartra on hopefully cheaper than what we sell Bartra for if Bayern do come back and accept our counter-offer request of £35 million. I would certainly take one of these guys to replace Marc Bartra. They're both younger and Tah is just as good and Saul is 1 rating higher. I would take either of these centre-backs coming in as a replacement for the Spaniard, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Stade came back to us regarding Akhmetov. They will meet our counter-offer of £4.1 million, as will Bayern for Marc Bartra. So Bartra is off to the Allianz Arena for £35 million, and I've got to say, I'm definitely going to take that. Unfortunately, Hoffenheim and Leverkusen did reject our bids for Saul and also Tah as well, as you'll see in just a moment's time after the confirmation of Bartra getting sold to Bayern. We did put in new bids, so that's that then. Marc Bartra has gone, and for £35 million, I've got to say, I'm actually pretty happy with that. I didn't plan to sell him before the January transfer window. I wasn't going to look for a new centre-back, but he's now gone, and because of that, we'll need someone else to replace him. We could use Lucas Hernandez, 81 overall, 23 years old, or possibly even Ginter, who I think is better playing centre-back than right-back, at least in the game, but I thought, you know what, we got the money, £35 million. Both Tar and Saul have their contracts up coming the end of the year. We may as well put in bids for them once again and see if we can convince the clubs to let them go on a cheaper than valuation deal. So a new bid for Saul, that was £23 million. A new bid for Tar as well, that was £20 million. It is under their valuations, I know, but again, this is one of the reasons why, even if you're not going to sign a player on a pre-contract, you need to pay attention to when their deals expire. So if it comes at the end of the year, even if you don't want to sign them on a pre-contract, you can sometimes convince clubs to let the players go for less than their valuation. And I know, cheapskate docs back at it again, but the thing is, it works. You know, it works. Leverkusen accepted this bid for Jonathan Tah of £20 million, and what's that, £7 million, I think it is, lower than his valuation right now, something like that, and that's just saving money right there. We're going to sign him hopefully for £15 million less than what we sold Bartra for, as Middlesbrough, I've left the impression on Middlesbrough, the cheapskate stuff. As you can see, Middlesbrough do the same here with Mbula, signing a player on less than their valuation. I thought that was kind of funny there. They've bought into my philosophy. But yeah, you see here is Hoffenheim once again rejects that bid for Nicholas Saul. Jonathan Tah, £20 million. That's £7.5 million under his valuation. And it just makes sense to target those players that have their deals up come the end of the year, even if you're not going to sign them on pre-contracts. Because otherwise, any other year, this wouldn't happen. This wouldn't happen next year. If I put in a bid for Jonathan Tah next season, £7.5 million under his valuation, Leverkusen wouldn't let him go. Why would they? But due to the fact he is out of contract in the summer and could leave on a pre-contract, Leverkusen know they may have to cash in on him to get as much money as they possibly still can. Otherwise, they risk losing him for free to another club, or of course it never happens, but to go into the free agents pool, even though that never happens anyway. But still, that's why you've got to pay attention to players' contracts and when their deals expire, because you can get some absolute bargains even if you don't play the pre-contract game. Still, Jonathan Tah does come in then, £20 million deal, and I've got to say, that is a brilliant signing right there. It's a replacement for Mark Bartra. He's 5 years younger. He'll have more potential. They're the same overall anyway, so we're not taking a step back. £15 million is what we get there in terms of the difference between the two fees. I'm very happy with that deal, and I think that's some great business too. Also, Dennis Bernic is going to leave the club as well, go to 1860 Munich for 725 grand. Totally fine with me. Haven't used him this season, and I don't think I ever will as my time here at Dortmund manager. And also Stenzel as well is going to leave the club on a free transfer for next season and go to Freiburg on a pre-contract. Totally fine with me. I did say he wasn't going to get a new deal. He wasn't going to stay here past this season anyway, so he's decided to leave come the end of the year to a new club, and that is totally fine for me. And for the first game of the episode here, the first and only game of the episode 2, we take on Kaiserslautern away from home in the Bundesliga as we travel to the league's bottom-placed club.
One area I know they've been concerned about is difficulties from balls into the penalty area. They need somebody to head them away, and here we are with the new signing.
Yeah, he's a player that likes to attack the ball. He doesn't shy away from the physical side either.
And with just 2 wins all season long and currently sitting rock bottom of the table, Kaiserslautern were the perfect opponents for us to give Jonathan Tah his debut against, as he would slot in alongside Sven Bender and Henry the Hoover Davis as part of our new back three. So taking on Kaiserslautern then for the first and only game of the episode here, the side currently bottom of the Bundesliga. We were definitely fancying our chances coming into the game, no doubt about that, with Kaiserslautern only having 2 wins in 16 games. We did start off very well as well. Jonathan Tah almost got a debut goal 30 minutes in, getting on the end of that Diego cross, but it was tipped over the bar and behind for a goal, for a corner I should say, as it was still 0-0. We looked strong to start this game off with too, which is really necessary, because the last game was a disappointing 2-2 draw at home against Augsburg, where we were 2 goals down in the first half and only rescued a point and kept our undefeated streak in the Bundesliga alive thanks to a stoppage time equaliser. But unfortunately, just like the last game, we would start off poorly and concede the first goal of the game, because 30 minutes in, Kaiserslautern, rock bottom of the table, playing host to top of the table, would take a shock lead and make it 1-0. They worked their way inside from the left-hand side, and Moritz got on the end of the pass, was all alone. And when you play with 3 centre-backs, you would surely expect one of them to pick one of the strikers up. But Christoph Moritz, number 18 I should say, gets his first goal for the club, puts it in off the post, and makes it 1-0 to Kaiserslautern. And 1-0 could have become 2-0 as well in the 33rd minute, just a few minutes after their goal. Michael Michael Müller made a great save though and kept the score at 1-0 as the hosts looked to make it 2-0 for the second time in a row. We will be going into a game 2 goals down in the first half, but it was still 1-0. Diego tried to get us back on level terms here, the star of the show right now. It was a great save by the goalkeeper though, and it was still 1-0. But 3 minutes to go before the break, Kaiserslautern once again had another great chance. Sven Bender, who had a terrible first half for us, was completely destroyed there. But once again, Michael Müller bails us out and keeps the score at just 1-0. So Kaiserslautern, bottom of the table, were leading going into the second half by a goal to nil, and we needed to sort it out. And in the second half, just 5 minutes after the restart, we had a chance to do just that and get ourselves back on level terms. A bit of ricochet and pinball in the area. Eventually saw the ball come through towards Diego Menendez, who found the skipper Marco Reus inside the area. Keeps holding the ball, didn't really know what to do here, but eventually took it around 2 red shirts with the Berber spin, drilled it into the centre, and when we need a goal, we know that one of 2 players is going to provide it for us. Not Diego Menendez this time, but Aubameyang, who gets into double figures to join Diego. They both have 10 now. Getting on the end of that drill cross from Marco Reus, great assist from our captain as Aubameyang was all alone and put the ball into the back of the net. So 1-1 in this game, and just past the hour mark here, a great chance for us to turn the game on its head. Kaiserslautern passing out from the back would eventually give the ball away here, with the Hoover making a brilliant tackle on his man. It fell to Gutsa, who found Menendez, who rolled it through towards Omre Moore. And in the last game, this guy was our hero, scoring the equalising goal in stoppage time after coming off the bench to make it 2-2. And in this game, he turns the game on its head for us and makes it 2-1 to Borussia Dortmund. He just came off the bench. He saw the ball rolled through from Diego Menendez. That was the same combination for the goal Moore scored in the last game against Augsburg as well, as Omre Moore gets his 3rd goal in the Bundesliga, and 2-2. So Kaiserslautern 1, Dortmund 2. We had to respond in the second half, trading to bottom of the table away from home by a goal to nil. We needed to turn the game on its head. We did just that, and in the second half, really upped our game. Had a great chance to make it 3 in stoppage time as well, and we will do that as well. Diego Menendez giving us a 2-goal cushion for the first time in the game and wrapping the points up as he pulls out the dab, and we make it Kaiserslautern 1, Borussia Dortmund 3. And once again, in the top left, you may have noticed it, stoppage time went on for longer than you would have thought. 5 minutes into stoppage time is when Diego wrapped the points up. It wasn't going to matter, we were going to win the game anyway. But Menendez says, you know what, I've been amongst the goals this season. I'm at my best season in terms of scoring goals. I want one in this game. I want to go 1 goal ahead of Aubameyang, my bro as well. And he does just that. 11 goals for Diego now, 3-1 the final score. And we have our blushes spared thanks to a great second half display, turn the game on its head and ensure we are still top of the table with a big win in this game and still undefeated in the Bundesliga as well. But that will end today's episode of the FIFA 17 career mode, guys, so a massive thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, and don't forget 2,000 likes for another episode of career mode later on tonight. So let's get it done. Thank you for watching, much love to you all, have a great Saturday, and don't forget 2,000 likes for another episode of career mode later on tonight after the football. Hopefully see you then.